I don't know how well this is going to hold up, but we'll find out, I guess. Hold up there.
So we're not.
It's live right now.
Oh.
I just don't know how well the connection's going to be.
Ah, there we are.
Looks like it's working.
Uh-huh. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning from Joshua Tree, California. Guess what, babe?
What, babe?
Guess what we get to do today?
What?
Put a sticker
Yeah, that's right.
on our map and our trail.
Thank
road.
God. And I'm not sure I know where those stickers are even.
Good morning, Jack Vegetables. Good morning, Stan, Christina, Jarrett. Good morning, everybody. I'll have to go inside and get our little book.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. Can you guys hear us okay? We got the generator running back here. And it's not very loud, but you never know how it comes across on the camera. So let me know if you can hear us okay.
Good morning, Kim. Good morning, Stanton's Journey. That's Chris, I believe, Chris. Good evening from Germany. Whoa. Hey,
Cool.
Germany. Yeah, for sure. Good morning, Wesley. You both look like you're feeling better. Oh, my God.
Much better, yeah.
We are like two brand new people.
I'm still pretty run down, but I feel much better. My sore throat is gone finally, but I have this weird thing now where like it feels like a vocal cord or something, like gets hooked on something over here and I have to move around and push it. It's weird.
Good morning to Elliot and Christina. And Chris said that he missed the last few live. Well, we only had one live in the past 3 weeks, right?
Something like that, yeah.
Because we were down for the count.
We haven't done anything.
Corey wants us to pray for his mom. She has pneumonia.
Okay.
Okay, we'll do. And what's your mom's name? It's good to have a name. God knows who she is, but we like to name names. Yes, we are feeling better. It is gorgeous out here, I'm telling you. Last night when we pulled in, I was like, I'm not too sure if I like this dry camping thing or not, because there's big poops around, like elephant
Did you
poops.
say big poops?
Big poops. Really, they're scat, okay? Some kind of animal scat, really big.
They're not quite the size of elephant poops, but...
Not quite, but I exaggerate a little bit, okay? Good morning, Jana.
Did the bus leave from over there?
No, the bus is still there.
No.
Yeah, we went to sleep last night. Oh my God, we fell asleep in the chair for like 2 hours, didn't we?
Yeah.
In the chairs after getting here because it was a rough day. He's going to tell you about that in a minute. But it was a rough go in the morning. And we finally look out for the snake behind you. Stop it. Don't say that.
There could be. You never know.
Yeah,
There's holes all over the place
Yeah,
here.
and we've got tennis shoes on today. We're not messing around with our flip-flops. And we're going to go scouting around for some wood so we can make a fire tonight.
Yeah, there was only one person out here with a fire last night, which is kind of weird, and it only lasted for a little bit. So I don't think there's a rule against having fires. I mean, just in the place we parked, there's 4 fire pits. So I don't think there's any kind of a rule against having them.
Right. We have a bush over here. We could call it the burning bush.
You're a goof.
I know. Okay, so you want to start with the story of yesterday?
Well, I mean, it started out okay. In the morning, we got up and just started getting everything packed up and ready to roll, which we had spent the day before getting a lot of stuff done too. because I needed to clean out the trunk of the car and just a bunch of crap. You know, I had like a big plastic Sterilite container in there that had some tools, and it had all kinds of fluids for the car and the RV, and something had broken open because it was just everything in there was wet and destroyed. So I had to get that out of there, clean everything up, get rid of things, whatever. So so we spent, what is today? Tuesday?
I think it's Tuesday.
We
Yes.
spent Sunday doing that, and just, you know, she was preparing things inside and cleaning. I was doing stuff outside, and then yesterday we got up in the morning and we planned to be out of there by 10, I think it was. And we're rushing around getting things done and set up, and it took a lot longer than usual because we've been sitting there for a month. You know, when you kind of get settled in and you don't realize, like, if we're only somewhere for a couple days, we can pack up and go, no problem. But being there for a month, you just get settled in, and you don't realize how settled in you are until you're trying to clean it up and get out the door. So I gotta backtrack for a minute here to cover this story. A couple weeks ago, I think it was right before we got sick, I went to use the hot water in the bathroom and turned on the spigot, and there was nothing. No water, not a drip, no nothing. Turned on the cold water, and there was plenty of water. Same in the kitchen, same in the shower. So got online, started researching to figure out what that problem was. Turned out I needed to replace a check valve, and what that is it's just a little steel tube that has a little mechanism inside that allows the water to flow one direction and prevents it from flowing back in the opposite direction. So ordered that stuff from Amazon, and God, I love Amazon. Stuff comes in one day. So it was there like by 7 o'clock in the morning. So I started working on that. I spent the whole day working on it, and I could not reach inside this compartment over here. It's really small, and I could reach around to the back, but I couldn't see what I was doing behind the water heater. So I got as much of it done as I could, and then I ended up having to call this RV shop where they come out mobily. And kid came out, and he was stick thin, and he climbed all the way back in that thing. It was unbelievable. And then he ended up unhooking the water heater and pulling it out so that he could access the thing better, make sure everything was done. We got that taken care of. So then we got sick, and what was the other? Oh, then we had a leak. We had a leak from the black tank, and the tube that goes from the black tank down to where you empty it, where you pull this thing and it flushes out all the gross stuff. So there was a leak there, and we could smell it, and we're like, this is disgusting. I have to fix this. I could see it leaking underneath. I had no idea what I was going to get into. So I called that guy back, and I'm like, hey, I got another job for you if you can do it, and he wouldn't do it. So I had to get up in there in another one of these compartments, the basement compartments. I had to take off this steel plate that has like the outdoor shower components on it, and then there's an inlet for the city water, an inlet for the water that you flush the tanks with. There's several other different things I had to disconnect and somehow get this metal plate out of there, which I ended up having to bend it to get it out of there. In the process of that, there were two wires, two switches. One of them was for the water pump, and one is for the lights, I believe, in the compartments. I never use these switches. Had a hard time getting those disconnected. But when I finally did, all these little metal pieces fell out onto the ground. And the ground is like sand and tiny little pebbles. It basically is the consistency of cat litter. So that stuff like dissolved into the ground. After digging all that stuff out, I put it in my toolbox, and I had no idea where it goes because it's all just a little jumbled mess of electronics in there. I got that thing all fixed, no more drip, blah blah blah, put that back together, So going back to yesterday morning, then we're getting ready to go. We knew we were coming out here to California, to Joshua Tree, to this BLM land, so that we could boondock for a couple days, and which requires us to use our onboard water, the water tank. There's no hookups out here, obviously. So the last thing we needed to do was pull in the jacks, get the car on the tow dolly, and pull out. And she says, can you turn on the water pump for a minute? Because I had already unhooked the water. Turned it on, no power whatsoever to the water pump. I'm like, you've got to be kidding me, because we're going out here, to boondock. And we can't do it without the water. So start messing around with that stuff, and I'm like racking my brain thinking what could be going on here. And I was thinking maybe that it was a fuse. And the thing is, in this RV, there are fuses all over the place. There's not just one place that you lift up the dash and then there's a whole bunch of fuses for the entire coach. They're all over the place. You have to follow wires until you eventually find the thing. That's why when I had all that electric problem before, I couldn't even take it on myself, because this guy had to get up under the rig in all these little places and follow these wires to find these fuses. It was crazy. So I'm thinking maybe it's a fuse. Where can I find the fuse? Looking all over the place, taking panels off inside and outside, blah blah blah. Messaged this guy again to see if he had unhooked anything when he did the water heater, and he said no. He said if you want to swing by the shop, you can. And I think I said, well, could you come over here? And he said it'd be easier if he came to the shop. So we're like, all right, we're already packed up and ready to roll. Let's just do it. So I asked him for the address, and he disappeared off the face of the earth. Never got back to me. So then I'm like, all right, let me just start brainstorming here and figuring out where the problem could be. And I kept coming back in my mind to the electrical things that I unhooked when I did that, when I repaired that tank. Because it's two switches that I never use, so I did not try to put it back together, being electrical and having so many tiny little pieces. Some of them may be missing in the dirt. So I just taped them up and I tucked them back in there. I thought I don't use them anyway. So I went out there and I started looking at that. I'm like, can I possibly figure this out? I know nothing about electricity. I know nothing about where these little pieces go. And just looking at it, I started looking at it as a puzzle and going, okay, where would this fit? Where would that fit? And there's, oh my gosh, so many tiny little pieces in there. And nothing's ever held together. You pull that stuff apart, it just all falls out. So there was like a little prong in the middle. Wait, let's see. So there's like a box, and this box is tiny. Little prong in the middle, and then there were these little things that looked like teeter-totters. And I figured, okay, maybe you have to balance that on the prong, and then it touches either this pickup or this pickup. So I tried it with one of them, and it didn't do anything. Tried it with the other one, and got her on the phone inside, and she's sitting there looking at the water pump while I'm messing with this thing, trying not to electrocute myself.
Yeah.
And it eventually worked. I finally figured it out. Finally got the thing put back together. You had to balance all these little things and springs, and then hold this part and push it real slowly so that it wouldn't all fall apart again, which it did a couple times. But I finally got it done. We finally got our water. By that point, we had already gone to the office and got 2 more days at the park. So she's like, all right, well, let's go. I said, I don't want to drive 5 hours after that, because it was already like 2 o'clock in the afternoon by that point. I was exhausted. And I don't even remember what you said. But I was like, all right.
I don't want to stay here another. I don't want to wait. I would take this all apart.
Yeah, because that's the thing.
Again.
We were already packed up.
Right.
We
were ready to turn the ignition and go.
Yeah, so that was the thing. It's like, am I too exhausted to drive, or do we want to put out the slides again, put everything back together, clean off the bed, it was a mess either way. So I'm just like, all right, let's do it. She went down and got our money back, and I hooked up the car. And by the time she got back, we were rolling out. So, so that was that. That was the ordeal yesterday.
Where are your hats? We don't need a hat. It's it was 57 here when we came out for the sunrise, and we had hoodies on. And then by the time we went inside, had coffee, breakfast, did a little stuff on the computer, and come out here. We already have the air conditioning on in the unit, in the rig, in the rig, because the sun is on the other side, which you can see that it's coming, and it's going to be hot in there today. So
yeah, we're sitting in the shade right now, the shade from the RV, but on the other side, it's already really hot. We're surrounded by mountains out here. This is really cool. You can see, and you'll see this in our video, but you can see the highway out there that we came off of yesterday, and it's just a long highway with all these cars and semis. And at night, it looked really cool. It was just lights out there. It was the only lights around the whole place. I didn't even see anybody with lights on their RVs or anything.
No, it was just so. It was just different, cool.
Yeah.
We've
7:30 at night, everybody's asleep.
Including us. Including us.
It was weird.
Good morning, Lindsay Lou. And she said, you're at my favorite national park. We're going to go explore the park today. We are right now outside the park at BLM land. And good morning, Dan Van Leer. And yeah, so...
I filmed most of the drive out here. I didn't have all my new components hooked up yet to power the GoPros for the entire drive, so they died by the time we got to Quartzsite, and we still had about an hour and a half before we got here. But it all looks the same out here. You know, it's all just mountains and everything, and it's beautiful. But the camera's only lasting until Quartzsite. You didn't miss anything else except for the Joshua Tree sign. So.
Yeah, and it wasn't that. I mean, the mountains are pretty, but it's pretty much desolate desert, dirt, sand, and bushes.
Yep.
So we're gonna get into the park today and get some shots of the Joshua Tree, as far as I think we are. Last night I was ready to leave this morning, but then after I saw that sunset, the sunrise, and all that, I'm like, oh no, we gotta go to that park.
You were ready to leave this morning?
Well, yeah, kind of. Last night I said, I don't think boondocking's for me.
Yeah, we've been here for 4.5 minutes.
I know, that's because I got bit by a bug already. Okay, so Whitney and Leslie, how are you both feeling? Hopefully you guys are back to yourself. We're just trying to restore our energy. Our energy is depleted.
Yeah, and I feel much better. I know you feel much better. But yeah, there's still that thing about getting your body up to speed again. Yeah. You know, because we've been down for 2 weeks doing nothing but sleeping and watching movies. And so now to get up and move around, you get exhausted pretty quick. But coming back around. So.
Yep. Good morning, Mikey Matthew Robinson. He's a new name.
Yeah.
And way back, somebody else asked for prayer, but I'll go back through it and look. Okay. But I said we would pray. And Jared had a seizure this morning.
What?
He's okay though, so that's good. I'm getting my energy back. Chris was sick too, apparently. Good morning, Carla. Good morning, Wesley. He likes your shirt. And then he asked if this was available. Corey asked if this was available. And I said, yep, it sure is.
Yeah, Josie, those are in the Teespring store.
And we haven't even been to Yellowstone yet.
Yeah. I'm curious about this place here, like how far down this goes. that you can keep driving and then still pull off and stay for the night.
Have to take a little drive there.
Yeah, once we get the car unhooked, we'll drive down there and see. I was almost afraid to drive any farther last night when we pulled in the RV because it gets a little more,
rocky.
hillier and rockier.
Yeah.
The deeper you get in there, at least that's what it looks like. But there's buses here, and it looks like the deeper you get in there, the smaller they get. Little vans and stuff.
Yeah. But it's funny because last night there were just a few scattered around where we are, and then this morning there was a bus, a schoolie, another RV, a Class C.
Yeah, there's a handful of them came in through the night.
We didn't hear nothing, surprisingly.
It's silent out here.
And we had all the windows not open, but the shades up, so you could see. But it was pitch dark, right? Pitch dark.
Yeah, but then when you stepped outside, because our windows are just slightly tinted. But when you stepped outside, it was a lot lighter. It was still dark, but it was a lot lighter, and the stars looked really awesome out here.
Mm-hmm. Good morning, Mr. Cruise Fever 1. Hello, everyone from South Florida. That's cool. Where in South Florida are you, Mr. Cruz? So Chris had a bad stomach bug over the weekend, and he's feeling better. That's good. What else? So Ollie said that he was gone for so long working, he missed hanging out with us. Well, we were off for a good 3 weeks. We didn't
at least
have
2,
a
yeah.
video.
Yeah, I still need to do my 100,000 subscriber video on the other channel too. I have not got around to that yet.
So Ada wants to know, before you thought about getting an RV, did you ever have a thought of traveling around the States and having a YouTube channel of you doing it? I don't know why I'm asking this, but I'm just curious.
I thought about traveling long before I ever was even on YouTube. Because at first, my plan to do it first started out with just building a little stealth camper in a van. I was thinking about, like, they have those big, I think it's a Chevy Explorer, and I know there's a Ford Explorer, but there's actually a van, a big conversion van called a Chevy Explorer, and it's pretty awesome. And I wanted to get one of those and just kind of deck it out and then travel and live in that. And then over the years, it just kind of became bigger and bigger and bigger. And the YouTube came into play after I was already doing YouTube. And as the plan to get an RV and travel grew, and I was already doing YouTube, I thought, well, that would be cool, to film the whole remodel, get when it needs to be redone, film the remodel, film while I'm on the road, because that opens up access to everything. And then it kind of, then it changed. It didn't really change, but it just expanded to filming actual traveling videos as opposed to just filming different things in different areas that I went. So at least that was, how it started with me. So.
Good morning, Rick to Sempra. And Mr. Cruz Fever is Northern Beach County, west of Palm Beach. My family is in Sarasota and Palmetto. Damien Hill, good morning, guys. Glad to see you better. Sorry, I'm glad you're better. Sorry I missed some of your videos. Hello from Waterloo, Illinois. James A. Haber. Good morning, James. Leslie and...
Do I miss Ohio? Not really. I miss people in Ohio, but I don't miss... Yeah, when we've been out here and it's basically been summer for us the whole time. Will you bring my water up, babe?
Yep.
Thank you. Yeah, for us it's basically been summer the whole time, except for the couple days in, where was that? Roswell, where all of a sudden it was like the Antarctic. But like at Christmas time, I missed Ohio because I missed the weather. Same thing in the fall. I was thinking, I was in Florida and finishing up filming the Halloween stores, and I missed the fall weather because it was just blazing hot there. And that was also, again, about the same with Christmas. I was trying to film Christmas videos, and I just didn't even do very many because it was so hot. I'm out there sweating 90 degrees, going swimming and seeing the ocean and everything. And then I'd have to try to transition my mindset to Christmas. And to me, Christmas is snow and Santa and all that stuff. And it's definitely not waves and shorts and flip-flops. So that was kind of a difficult thing at that time. But
Can you move your chair over a little? Because the sun's getting right in my eyes.
okay.
We're going to just have a little mover.
I gotta figure out how to get out of this chair.
I know.
All right, where am I going?
To your, that way. Yep. Face right in the sun. There. Okay.
Cool.
Got our little book we're reading for today.
I'll tell you one thing I do miss about Ohio is Tappan Lake. I can't wait to get back to Tappan.
I can't wait to get there. You've raved so much about it.
Out of every place that we've been, even Florida and everywhere, Tappan is still my favorite park that I've stayed at. It's just, I don't know, it was the perfect mix of just like you're at a park, so you have the amenities of a park, meaning like washer and dryer, you have, showers on site and stuff like that, even though we have one in the RV. You're on a concrete pad with full hookups and everything, but you're surrounded by the forest and these big lakes, and it's campers, it's people camping, people who are out here to enjoy this kind of life. Even if they were only out there like on the weekends or whatever, but they're out there having fires and cookouts and making s'mores and hot dogs, and everybody's sitting around and talking and having fun and everything. And out here, the parks that we've been to, at least, it just feels like you're just sitting in a neighborhood.
Yeah.
It's...
And the ones that we've been in so far, most of them have been over 55, and that means that it's quiet, it's pretty stiff, there's no kids running around, and even though I don't mind quiet, but I like to hear the kids. I like to hear the laughter of the kids in the pool and stuff, But
yeah, even the ones that aren't 55 and over, it seems like out everywhere we've been, there's this trend where it's not just a campground or an RV park. It's like this hybrid thing where there's RVs mixed in with houses, and that's just, I don't know, like I said, it just makes you feel like you're just sitting in a neighborhood for a little while. And even though it's nice places, I much prefer that feeling of camping and enjoying the life, enjoying being out here traveling, instead of just, this is where I live, and it just happens to be in a camper. So.
Right. So Lindsay Lou said, why would you miss Ohio? Hey, Nate, it's going to snow tonight, 1 to 2 inches.
Are you serious?
And then the other guy said, Ohio is rainy and wet and snow for Wednesday.
Oh, jeez. Yeah.
Ollie, retired life Ollie style. Mrs. Ollie, I am the doula. My husband's retired. Our YouTube name is a little misleading. Only one of us is retired. Oh, Mrs. Ollie, that's cool, because I took classes to become a doula at one time, and my daughter's a doula, and so we love doula stuff, babies. We love watching what's the midwives, Call a Midwife. And then Ada said, I guess if you live in Florida on Christmas, you can put a Santa hat on a flamingo and set it up on a Christmas tree and call it Christmas.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it, too, Ada.
You guys see that big plane?
Cool.
Well, where were we? Oh, when we drove through, who was Stank? Where did we drive through? Quartzsite.
Oh, yeah.
When we drove through Quartzsite yesterday, there's a lot of BLM land, off the sides, tons of it. And we saw a boat, an enormous boat. It was like a little mini yacht just out there in the desert. It was I think it was on a trailer. So somebody like rolled it out there and was staying in their boat in the middle of the desert overnight.
Yes.
At least that's what it looked like.
Yep.
Quartzsite looked like there was a lot more people there who were kind of like, more like what that Nomadland movie was about, where it was like people who are down on their luck and they're kind of forced into the lifestyle.
Right.
Living in whatever they can afford.
Vans, Yeah.
Yeah. At least that's how it came across to me.
Chris Overjohn, when you make it to Ohio, will you stay at Tappan the entire time? Most likely.
Heck yeah.
We're going to be there for a week in July, and then we're going to be there for a month in September, right?
Something like that, yeah. Yep.
And Omarion Jacob said, "Happy 100,000, that Nate guy." Yes, we reached 100,000. Woohoo!
Yeah, finally.
Yes, he plans on taking the drone up. Yes, definitely.
Yeah, I definitely want to do that. Although seeing that plane fly by, that wasn't a commercial plane. However, there are rules when there's an airport nearby, so I'm going to have to. I don't have to really read up on those rules. Basically, what happens is that when you set the drone up and you hit the button to fly it, it will give you a notification. It'll tell you if it's a no-fly zone. Some of them you just can't fly. Some of them you have to agree to a little blurb or whatever. So.
I think it would be cool if we took it to the park. The Joshua
We can do
Tree
that.
Park.
Yeah.
Okay, so Mrs. Ollie wants to know, we're going to Sandusky this summer and possibly Cleveland. Any suggestions? I have no idea.
Cedar Point. I don't know. Cedar Point, if you're into that kind of thing, what the heck do you call it? Park. Roller coasters and that.
Oh, okay.
Other than that, really, I don't know, because like usually in Cleveland, the big thing to see would be whatever is happening at the IX Center, or like an Indians baseball game. That would be fun. I'd love to go see the Indians play. In fact, we almost did when they came to Arizona for spring training. But that would be cool. And the IX Center, though, I believe they closed it. I think they closed it because of COVID.
Yeah.
So I don't know if there'd be anything up there. But other than that, I mean, to my knowledge, like Cleveland is basically about like the drinking scene, So I'm not into that. So maybe there's more out there.
So, no, we could not fly the drone at the Grand Canyon. That was a no.
No, you get fined. There's people who have flown their drone at the Grand Canyon, and then after their videos posted, they get a fine in the mail, $500 or something.
Ada wants to know what we're doing today. We're going to go to right here is the BLM land, and it's like Joshua Park, outside of the Joshua Tree National Park. But we are actually going to the park. We're going to drive the car up.
We might have to actually find a little bit more stable ground, level ground.
Yeah, we
because
kind of run from the front to the back.
The RV is like at a weird angle down and over to the side. So when you walk, you're walking uphill going towards the back. When you come back, you're like going downhill.
Yeah, you have to put the brakes on.
And there's big flat rocks over here. I can put them down and put them under the levelers, the jacks, which I was gonna do, but I think that would lift the tires off the ground, and that wouldn't be good. So
Good morning, Gail. And Gail wants to know how hot is it. Right now, it's not.
Yeah.
It's about 70, I think.
Probably,
if I
yeah.
had to guess.
Even last night though, it's totally different out here. Everywhere that we've been, the weather has been totally different. As far as like, when I was in Texas and it was 90 degrees, I was dying. I mean, I was just melting.
Sorry, people, but I have to get this chair out of the sun.
But you don't want me to move again?
No.
What are you gonna do? Sit behind me?
Yeah. I'm gonna sit behind you.
But then 90 degrees in Arizona, for the most part, was so tolerable. It was like a dry 90 degrees. You're probably gonna, yeah. It was like a dry 90, and it was so tolerable. Now, the past couple of days though, it was in the 70s, 80s, and it was so hot. But then here last night, it was 75 out here, and it was chilly. So it's just so strange.
Yes, very strange. Okay, let's see. You should do a video to see how much Nate's hair grows in 2 months' time. I like my bald man.
You don't want to see my hair when it grows.
Yeah. Good morning, Roy Propes. We will do lives outside whenever the weather permits, right?
Yeah.
Whenever the weather permits. Because it's so nice out.
Yeah, and there's no wind out here either.
And you just hate sitting in the RV with a day like this. I mean,
Yeah, and
seriously.
when we were doing the lives in Florida, remember when we had that traffic? We were doing the lives outside. Ouch, hold on. We were doing our lives outside at the campsite, and the traffic was right over that fence, and it was so loud you guys couldn't even hear us. So that was when I bought the new microphone, and then the wind started blowing, and you couldn't hear us over the wind.
Oh, my goodness. Okay, so on a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate Goodyear? I'll let you go first.
I guess that depends on what we're rating. If we're rating the area of Goodyear, or if we're rating the park that we stayed at. It was awesome, the area. We saw the mountains. We were surrounded by mountains. There were tons of cactises. And that was cool, because that's one thing I wanted to see was the giant cacti.
Mm-hmm.
So that was really cool. We got to climb that one mountain, which, just walk up the steps.
That was
But
beautiful.
that was really awesome. As far as the park goes, it was a very nice park, but there was a lot of little just weird things, like I said, for one thing, it was one of those hybrid parks where there's houses mixed in with RVs, so it just feels like you're just sitting there, doing nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Couldn't have a fire there. It was very unwelcoming, I thought, when it came to like the swimming pool and that. And I know there's a lot of things going on, restrictions because of COVID, but like the pool was open, but the lights were all off.
Yeah. No
So it
lights.
was almost like they were really trying to discourage you from using the pool. So even when you were in there, it felt like you were swimming at an abandoned building, which is usually right up my alley. But when you don't want it to feel like that, it's really strange. And there was other really weird things, like the post office. They have a little post office there on site. The lady that worked there was so mean all the time.
And no stamps.
Yeah,
What
they
kind of a
would not
post
sell
office is
stamps
that?
because of COVID. What sense does
Get
that
out
make?
of here.
And if you like had to get a package from or something, they open the door and they're like, "What do you want?" So, no, but the area of Goodyear was awesome. And like I said, when it was hot, most of the time it could get into the 90s, and it wasn't too bad. It was tolerable.
Yeah,
So-
as long as you had air conditioning, it was tolerable. My thoughts, I liked the area. It was clean and crisp. But it wasn't crisp,
Mhm.
cold crisp. It was just clean and crisp. Unlike New Mexico, where it was always
Yeah.
dirty and the wind was always blowing. But on the other, I agree with Nate on the same scale as him with the park itself. It's
Yeah,
a beautiful park, don't get us wrong. It was gorgeous, and the sites were amazingly large, and, it was...
Yeah, the sites were
just
3 times bigger than they even needed to be.
It was like
really
cliquish,
weird.
like little groups of what do you call those little golf carts?
And the people were nice,
yeah,
but it was.
I mean, they spoke to you.
It's just really weird.
It was just weird.
Now, one more thing I want to say about that:
Yes.
the area just being right there, and this wouldn't apply. I mean, this would apply no matter where you're at in Goodyear. There was still a lot of wind at times. Like, I want to be somewhere where we can put out the awning and set up our chairs and have the griddle out and, not have to, take it all down each day and stuff. We could leave it out for a little bit at a time there, but the wind gusts would start coming every once in a while, every couple days, and blow everything all to hell.
Yeah.
So, now Roswell, that was 24/7.
Yeah, so you never had your awning out. You never had anything out that you could use for cooking or anything.
Yeah, you couldn't have anything out in Roswell.
Yeah.
Arizona, you could have stuff out. You just had to deal with it every once in a while.
Yeah.
But
Okay, so Gail, good morning. I want to say good morning to Gail. And
Morning, Gail.
she wants to know if we saw any stars, a lot of stars in the sky last night. I'm telling you, when we came out here, the Big Dipper was right there.
Mhm.
Right there. It was amazing.
Yeah,
I
there
tried
was-
to take pictures, but you just can't.
yeah, you can. Now, what we need to do tonight, babe, if we stay here,
Yeah.
is get that app where you can look at the stars.
Oh, yeah.
I'll have to ask Courtney what it is. She has
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
But you point it up at the sky, and it points out what those are. Like Orion was over here,
Mm-hmm.
and the Big Dipper was over here, which
Mhm.
means the Little Dipper was over here too somewhere.
Somewhere. I couldn't find
So-
it, though.
Yeah.
Okay, so Jared said that I should prank you, but that would be really hard. Yeah, after the prank you gave me, that would be really hard for me to prank him because, first of all, I'm not that creative as a prankster, but I'll think about it anyway. On a scale of 1 to 10, how did you guys rate New Mexico?
New Mexico? I mean,
It was all right.
a 0. No. No.
I would do a 5 just because it was so trashy, dirty, and windy.
I would have to
People were
say,
nice, I have to say.
knowing what I know now, if somebody wanted my advice about going to Roswell, I'd say go for about 3 days. Go stay at the park that we stayed at, because it was a nice park, but get in there, park, get set up, go enjoy Main Street with all the UFO stuff, and then pack up and get out of town, because there's nothing else there. It's garbage as far as the eye can see, spread out, across these long, big, barren fields,
Mm-hmm.
and the only thing there is Main Street with the UFOs. That's it.
Yeah.
And like I said, the wind is just outrageous, so you can't even set anything up. Even being outside, you're just being blown all around. And then apparently that strange snowstorm that came through, that's like a regular thing out there, according to the people who live there. They acted like, they even said, it happens all the time. So it's like 80 degrees one day, and the next day it's 0 and you're frozen. So...
So Lindsay Lou said she was in Joshua Tree in August and it was 120. Oh no, I don't want to be anywhere near this area in the summertime.
Yeah, you're there's no protection out here. There's no trees.
None.
I mean, maybe there's Joshua trees in Joshua Tree Park.
Yeah, but they're only like that high,
Yeah.
They're not even a tree.
Yeah, out here
Really?
though, I mean, you're just sitting under the sun baking. So
Right. Good morning, DK Elevators. Good morning. I didn't mean to ignore you. What else here? Oh, it's snowing in St. Louis. That's from Malia. What is the temperature? Robert wants to know here.
it's got to be in the 70s right now.
Yeah. Right now in the shade, it's really nice. Really, really nice.
Yeah, because we're totally in the shade of the RV right now. The sun is on the other side, but the other side, I guarantee, is boiling hot.
Okay, Mrs. Ollie said the STARS app is Skyview. There is a free one.
What is it?
Skyview.
Skyview.
And then there's another. It says ISS detector.
Okay.
And Wesley wants to know: have you ever tried to collaborate with Adam the Woo or the Carpetbagger?
No, I mean I messaged Adam before, but he just does different content. You know, he like especially now. Before we probably could have got together and filmed together because he used to do all the abandoned things and stuff like that. Now he mainly does Disney. I mean, he's at Disney like every day of the week. So that's his channel right now, is just mainly Disney. And I remember him saying long ago, like that's what he wanted to do in the first place, before he ever even did the abandoned things. His whole idea was to vlog the theme parks 24/7. So, but yeah.
So, Stan wants to know what time is it? It's 9:09 a.m. 9:10.
Okay.
Let's see. Chris Stevens said you guys should install solar on top of the RV. We are looking into that, but that all takes time and money. So.
Well, and you know, the thing is, when I first started setting this all up, I was all about solar. And I thought how great it would be, but honestly, I don't see the necessity. I mean, for the cost of solar, you're talking 10 to 20 grand to outfit this thing with solar from one end to the other on the top.
God bless me. I mean, excuse me.
God bless you, yeah. Because you need, I mean, really to do it right, you need solar panels all along the top of your rig, and you need like 10 Battleborn batteries, which are $1,000 each. And it's a huge investment, and I don't see what the problem is with running the generator.
Yeah,
I mean, it uses gas, so if we were going to be out here for, 2 weeks, maybe the whole solar thing would be great. But I don't think we ever plan on boondocking anywhere for 2 weeks. So,
yeah,
it is kind of a pain to have to make sure you got a full tank of gas in order to use the generator, just in case. But, I mean, not that it takes all that much, but yeah, I mean, a generator does perfectly fine for us, and I just don't really see the need to put that kind of money into the solar right now. Maybe that'll change later, who knows?
Thank you guys for your blessings. Good morning to GDub2333. And Jarrett wants to know where the bee friend is. He's hooked right up back there.
Yeah, he's behind the RV.
Behind the RV. I think we should wrap it up because we need to get up to that part where it gets too hot.
All right.
So we're going to wrap it up with the word of the day, which today, what's the date today?
I don't know, 19th, 20th?
Yesterday was the 19th, so today's got to be the 20th.
Right.
Okay. I have come down from heaven not to do my own will, but the will of him who sent me. John 6:38. I'm a list person. Are you? I make my daily list, my weekly list, and my monthly list. I love lists. Jesus also was a list maker. His list only had one thing on it: to do the will of his Father. You never see him check things off his list because his list was his lifestyle. His whole life was a ministry of interruptions on his way to the cross. Esther Burroughs, Splash the Living Water. Amen.
Amen.
So, do the will of the Father. Oh, I have to say one thing about yesterday's interruption. Like when we had planned on leaving, then the interruption with it was a big one, granted, I have to admit that, but there's always a reason in things that happen, and it's usually, sometimes we don't know what the interruption was, or we know what it was caused by, but we don't know why. So I feel that was a God thing, and it was a God thing that he had you were such a mind person that you found out, you figured it out. I just give up. I just throw things, kick things, and give up, and call somebody or cry. But you just push through, and that's what I love. One thing I love about you. I mean,
Good. I hope there's more than one.
One of the things I love about you. Anyway.
Yeah, who knows what we would have run into if, if there had not been that delay. I think about that all the time. Anytime there's any kind of delay like that, that doesn't make it easier to deal with.
Right.
Because you're mad. We wanted to get on the road. And I was so mad when that water pump wouldn't turn on. But, yeah, you're right. I mean, who knows? Maybe that we would have gotten a wreck or something. Maybe there was something,
we might have ran in,
undesirable waiting for us.
Right, or run in a delay in the interstate running to get, who knows?
Maybe whatever dropped all these giant poops over here was waiting for us.
Yeah. Talk about giants. Whew. Okay. We are going to go now to Joshua Tree, make some videos up there. Be waiting, because there'll be some good videos. His will be good. Mine will be mediocre.
You're goofy. All right, wherever you're waking up, whatever time it is, make the best of your day.
Do something for somebody else, pay it forward, and let's make this world a better place. Bye, guys. Thank you all for coming. God bless you. We'll be praying for your uncles and your mothers and whoever else you asked us to pray for. I'm going to put them on my list. Bye, guys.
All right, greasy pieces. I got to figure out how to get out of this chair now.
You want some help?
All right.
E.T., you forgot. Reese's Pieces.
E.T.